Biologists can discover something new from the nature. The chemists can make it in the lab. Kind of interesting. Remember pyrethrum? That's another huge, significant material ever discovered from plant. Okay, we're gonna move right along. Next speaker, my big pleasure, honor to introduce Dr. Diane Kim. Am I right? Diane Kim. 90%. From Technology, Kisa University, Bangkok, Thailand. Dose response transfluthrin contact toxicity against pyrethroid susceptible aegypti using a high throughput screening system. You introduce yourself more if you feel so. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Steve. 大家好, good morning. 사와디카. 달라말까기. 안녕하세요. 저는 한국에서 온 김규현이라고 합니다. Let me introduce myself briefly. I came from South Korea. I am a current faculty member at the Kasasan University, Bangkok, Thailand. I'm working together with Ajahn. We call it Ajahn as a professor in Thai language, Ajahn Tiakpa, and also Ajahn Nachadawan. So today, I will briefly share my ongoing study in the lab side using the high throughput screening system, which is a very simple device, but we can evaluate the very details in the chemicals. So mostly we are working on the special repellent. Let me start. So as we always talking about the dengue is ongoing issue, and 70% of outbreak occurred in Asian countries, unlike malaria, which is 90% in African countries. And there is an expert, Dr. Laman from WHO, who is attending Chiang Mai conference next year. He always saying that the malaria problem is decreasing. Meanwhile, the dengue fever infection is increasing better. So number of countries also keep increasing. So even though the dengue is showing the much less mortality rate compared to the malaria, we have to focus on this problem in this area. For example, in Thailand this year, there are 5 times increased cases in dengue fever, so we have to seriously consider this problem. As IPPC recently reported, because of the climate change, there is a more potential distribution of the Aedes aegypti, which is the dengue vector, to the not pre-existing countries like South Korea and China. I heard it yesterday. China had the Aedes aegypti first reported in Beijing in 2017. So it is a matter of time. Means we have to be ready. As you can see here, left side hand, the green color showing the permethrin resistance nationwide in Thailand. So my supervisor, Professor Tirapa, he did a lot of works traveling every single corner in Thailand and collect the larvae, bring back to the lab, to the testing, the resistance. So he found that permethrin resistance is widely distributed. And after that, all the data goes to the Dr. Nachadawan, who gave us the GIS study this morning, generated this kind of the map with the coloring. So as you can see, the permethrin resistance and dengue cases are well linked. So we cannot ignore that permethrin resistance, because in Thailand, 80% of the pesticide active ingredient is pyrethroid, and permethrin took the first place. So as I mentioned, the increasing case of malaria and dengue mostly occurs in the rural area. So for example, outdoor transmission is happening. So this picture I took from the Puttawe province, which is our field facility is located. The people, when they go into the forest, they use their mosquito coil to protect it by themselves, but it lasting only several hours. So we need to provide them much stay longer and long-lasting and powerful protection tools. So last week I've been to the 7-Eleven in front of my house in Bangkok and found that there are different types of products like coils, sprays, and liquid, and passive emanations, and all these products mainly using the special repellent, and two major active ingredients was transfluthrin and metofluthrin, using the various percentage of the concentration. However, we still have no information about the resistance data about the special repellent. So what is the special repellent? Long story in short, we are using the minimum concentration of the chemical to repel the mosquitoes, not kill the mosquitoes. We call it the sublethal dose. So this special repellent can prolong the development of the resistance from the mosquitoes. So this one could be an alternative way to control mosquitoes. However, to do the susceptibility test, we need to generate the discriminating concentrations for the transfluthrin and metofluthrin. But as I did my literature review, there is no data for the CDC bottle assay, even high throughput screening system. So recently, one of my colleagues, Dr. Chutipo, he obtained DC of the transfluthrin using the WHO2 bioassay, and he confirmed that the local population of Aedes aegypti already developed their pesticide resistance on this transfluthrin. However, this number 0.06 is not applicable to other bioassays. So we have to be the biological bioassay specific and also the geographical specific to study. And this year WHO published the guidelines for the WHO bottle assay, and they recommended the dose for the susceptibility test for Aedes aegypti and albopictus. However, again, there was a fluctuations on the concentration of the two times, so we have to be careful with this information. Now, let me talk more about the high throughput screening system. Why I choose this device for the study about the toxicity and also behavioral responses. As I mentioned, this device is very simple. It consisted with the same size chamber, and depending on the number chamber, different modular will give you the different result. So there are toxicity assay and also contact and non-contact irritancy assay. For the details, you may check the WHO guidelines for the special repellent and also attractant. In this study, we established discriminating concentrations for the transfluthrin and metofluthrin, and using this DC, we tested field population of the Aedes aegypti to see any resistance. And finally, using the simple device, toxicity assay, we even could figure out the differences between transfluthrin and metofluthrin. We tested two different strains of Aedes aegypti. One is the USDA strain. We had this susceptible strain in the lab for more than 30 years. And another one, I collected Aedes aegypti from the local Thai local village, so-called Putdoi. So this one seriously developed their permethrin resistance. And technical grade of transfluthrin and metofluthrin were tested using 5 concentrations from 0.001 to 0.01. This is the result from the basic study. As you can see on the table, right-hand side, metofluthrin resulted 100% knockdown and mortality with the highest concentration. Meanwhile, the transfluthrin didn't reach 100% mortality, even though the same concentration. So these differences resulted different discriminating concentration. TFT, which is transfluthrin, showed 4.7-fold higher concentration than MFT. Using this DC, I conducted a susceptibility test, and the result is showing that in the red box, both chemicals showed resistance to Putdoi population. This is what we found. And then, interestingly, the transfluthrin showing the high percentage of knockdown compared to the metofluthrin. So there was chemical differences. As I mentioned, in the blue box, you can see the knockdown between TFT which is white box, and metofluthrin, black box, showing significantly different. In other words, the transfluthrin showing the high percentage of the knockdown efficacy. However, after 24 hours mortality, most of the knockdown mosquitoes could be recovered. So, ends up, there is no significantly different mortality between two chemicals. So then we can see the transfluthrin is only directly proportional responses regarding the mosquito recovery rate, unlikely metofluthrin is stable and flat. So discussion, optimized chemical is possible using the hydroxychloroquine system, which is very simple, but it is accurate. And we even found that differences between chemicals. And finally, we confirmed the resistance problem in Thailand against special repellent. So we have to working more on the behavioral responses. So this is another modular using the hydroxychloroquine system for the contact irritancy. Briefly, as you can see, we treated one chamber and linked receive chamber. So the 10 female mosquitoes in the treated chamber wait for the 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, there is the link with the small butterfly door was opened for 10 minutes for their escaping. So the result showing this, the higher knockdown percentage was also demonstrated from the transfluthrin. As you can see, red in the box, the 61% knockdown from the transfluthrin. However, the metofluthrin showing significantly lower knockdown. It means mosquitoes released in treated chamber, but transfluthrin make them knock down within a short time period, and then they just remain in the treated chamber, so exposed more longer time on transfluthrin. So the percent escape between transfluthrin and metofluthrin was significantly different. This is another modular. We call it the special repellency assay or non-contact irritancy assay. So as you can see, we linked all the three different chambers and released the 20 female mosquitoes in the middle. And left side treated, the other side is untreated with the chemical. So the mosquitoes can make a choice which place they freely fly into. We give 10 minutes for them again. And unlikely the contact irritancy, if the mosquitoes have no chance to contact the treated surface, they can escape. So that the transfluthrin showing the higher special activity index means repellent compared to the metofluthrin. So we can imagine that from this device, there is the differences between chemical, and transfluthrin may have the lower, less vapor pressure, so that this treated chamber already fully saturated by the transfluthrin, so that mosquitoes can push out to the untreated chamber. But metofluthrin has no that kind of function, so that some mosquitoes fly into the treated chamber, so we can see the treated chamber mortality was significantly higher for the metofluthrin. So again, this is very simple device, only 3 modular and less than 1 meter, but we can demonstrate the natural mosquitoes behavior. You can imagine, we spray here the chemical, and as the distance increases, the concentration will be decreased. So mosquito will show different behavior. With the higher concentration, they die or knock down, high mortality, but with the less concentration, they repelled or they lost any interest of the host seeking or blood feeding. And even further, they have no effect at all. So this small device can demonstrate the kind of mosquitoes' behavioral responses. Conclusion. The heat assay can demonstrate the dose response activity from the mosquitoes. So this is appropriate for the optimizing and susceptibility test. Using this device, now we have to do a lot of work in Thailand, like Professor Tirapap did 10 years ago. We may do this Mano and Nong Moi and Ot. So regular entomological surveillance is necessary. We have to visit every single place to see the special repellent susceptibility. And make it develop more to further studies, have to check about the more details about the behavioral responses of the mosquitoes with the degraded concentration of the special repellent. So my ultimate experimental goal is developing the cost-effective special repellent for the village people in Thailand and forest goers, like using the shoes or some fabrics impregnated with a special repellent. And of course, this kind of study have to go into the semi-field greenhouse essay. So you can see right-hand side of her picture, which is the semi-field. So my previous supervisor, late Michael Bain, he always mentioned that the beauty of the semi-field is we can test mosquitoes with known species and known number of mosquitoes in the real situation and conditions. So this one will give us more detailed information about the mosquitoes' behavior. After that, we have to apply it outdoor. I'd like to say thank you to my Professor Tirapa and Professor Jeffrey He, and my mosquito lab members, and my funding sources from CUDI Reinventing University program, and last but not least, Earth Thailand company to providing us the chemicals and also fabric. So as we have Professor Tirapap here, please contact him for more details, another chance to see each other in Chiang Mai. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. Can I have one question? Where to buy that pair of shoes? Not joking. And then where to buy that pair of shoes in Thailand, right? Bangkok. Okay. I love that pair of shoes. Picture. That's really not a real question. Don't be serious about it. I think we're slightly behind. If you agree with me, let's move right along because it's close to lunch hour. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So the last, actually not least, so we always say that way. I'm going to introduce Dr. to be Mena So